Yo, check it. Yeah. It's the daily ritual. Got that caffeine craving, feeling spiritual. Open up the bag, the aroma starts to flow. Yeah, it's time for fantastic, let the magic grow. First sip in the morning, yeah, it wakes me up. Got my mind right, ready to conquer the cup. Energy boost like a rocket to the moon. Fantastic coffee, ain't no time to spoon. Got the dark roast, bold and full of spice. Each cup a masterpiece, a delicious vice. Forget the instant crap, the weak watery brew. This ain't no Starbucks, this is the real deal, true. Fantastic, fantastic, it's the best in the game. Got feeling fantastic, ain't nobody the same. From the beans to the brew, it's a perfect blend. Got me energized, ready to ascend the ladder of success. Yeah, I'm on my way. Thanks to fantastic, it brightens up my day. Yeah, yeah. Got that midday slump, feeling kinda low, but one sip of fantastic, watch the energy grow. It's like a shot of adrenaline, yeah, it's the real deal. Keeps me focused, helps me seal the deals. Yeah, I'm on top of my game. Fantastic coffee, putting fire in my name. Got that late night session, the deadline's near, but fantastic keeps me going, no need for fear. Fantastic, fantastic, it's the best in the game. Got feel fantastic. It brightens up my day. More than just a coffee, it's a lifestyle. A perfect blend of flavor, smooth and worthwhile. From the mountains to your cup, it's a journey to savor. Fantastic coffee, the taste you'll forever favor. Fantastic, fantastic, it's the best in the game. Got to feel fantastic. Got me energized, ready to ascend the ladder of success. Yeah, I'm on my way. Things are fantastic, it brightens up my day. Fantastic, fantastic, the coffee that's true. Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's all for you. So grab a cup, take a sip, and let the magic flow. Fantastic coffee, the best thing you'll ever know.
Oh, I'm live. Hang on. Start music. Music. I need music. Oh, I can't speak. I'm lisping. Why am I lisping? Okay. See who's here? I see ghost cats. I see ghost cats. Caroline or Raven, anytime I see ghost cats comes in the chat, I'm fine with the link because I really want to promote what they're doing. So good. Hello to you, Louise. Hello, how are you doing, darling? Miss Mayhem. Good. Oh, voice is going. Good to see you. That's what happens when you're live at 2:00 in the morning. Got you through. Yeah. Be aware especially if you start a channel, you get a lot of emails and messages. Not straight away, Louise. It's. I mean, I was getting a lot of messages anyway because I was already things like modding and adminning for Crow's Facebook and got to know people that way. But with the Believe in Me project, I'm getting a lot of emails, so please bear with me. And I'm crap anyway. I'm crap in life when it comes to email. If I see it straight away, I will answer straight away. But if I think, I'll answer that later, I'm really bad. I'm really bad. So I apologise. Feel free, guys, to nag me if I'm not getting back. So, because I'm a bit shit. Hope you have coffee. I have coffee. I have just made a coffee. I got woken up over an hour ago when I was supposed to have more sleep, so I need coffee. Do you know, Kiwi? You don't call, you don't write. We see nothing of you, and then you barge in here talking about white chocolate. Honestly, just looking for a planking. Good to see you, darling. uh, so no patience. You got to have patience. You've got to have patience if you've got a channel. I do want to do a video on both starting a channel and being in the community and how to work it. Do talk about it sometimes, but yeah, Kiwi coming in begging for a plan. That's what she's after. That's what she's after. Being absent so while, so I have to rethink the ban. No, no. I've still got bloody crows on me about white chocolate, and that's your fault. Blaming you for that. Raven, lovely Raven. How are you doing, sweetness? You okay? Wisdom. Wow, wow. We put Wizard's link in the chat as well. I don't think we put Wizard's link in for a bit. And can you also put Phil's in? Phil wrote that song. And I know both. Wizard, you're over 400. They're both. I'd like to see them both get to the 500 mark. So, just give them. If anybody's, I mean, at the moment, everybody's probably subbed, but let's get their links in the chat. See if we can't get 1 or 2 more subs for both of them. So thank you, Raven, linking. I see ghost cats. I see ghost cats. I think everybody in here will know, but starting a paranormal book channel. I really need some recommendations, actually, because I really need to build up my library. Long way to go. Patience. It really is patience. Do you have a message type? No, actually, do you know what? I didn't. That's what I mean. And I'm crap. And the longer I leave it, the more I think that it's embarrassing to. I haven't seen him around though. I'll have to ask Crow Dawson if he's still hovering around, because if he is still active, I will. Yeah, thanks for making me feel bad again, Wiz. That's what I mean. I've forgotten about it. Don't do it straight away. I'm crap. Thank you for the spot. I'm going to do a video tomorrow and hopefully get loaded by Friday. Allergens. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Not last night. Not was it last night or the night before? I had a massive vertigo attack, worst one in months, and that's the pollen. I literally had to just lie, because all you can do is lie down if you get a vertigo attack. I felt awful. Oh no, I'm sorry, Kiwi. I'm sorry. So Crow is a gentleman. Suddenly not sorry. Yeah, kind of is. Award-winning gentleman. If anybody doesn't know, he and Joe won Best Song Award at one of the film festivals for Evil Unearthed for Matt and Joe's documentary. He also won a Prince of the Debunkers award, so he's not shut up about that either. Out of all the communities I've been a part of on YouTube, it's more welcoming. Yeah, I mean, not communities on YouTube, because before I hit this community 4 years ago, I was more individual channels, but I ran forums for years. You know, the old type forums. And yeah, it is the most welcoming. We are lucky. There's Wizard's Linky Poo. Kanja Mama, how are we doing? How are we doing? Yeah, there's Phil's link. I think Phil's on about 460 something. I think. Oh yeah, sweet of you, Wiz. Yeah. But you know, let's spend the next few lives trying to get Wiz over. over the 400 mark, because I mean, on the Saturday live, I usually have a lot more in and getting new peeps in. So we'll spread the word, darling. See if we can get you over 4 and see if we can get Phil towards the 500. Go sub to them. Yeah, you tell them, Raven. Go sub to them now. Or maybe after the live. Put them on posts in my channel. Yeah, I actually have both Wiz and Phil. Need to add a few more, and I think I've got Wiz, Phil, and Crow. I really need to add 1 or 2 more, but you can, if you've got a channel, put recommended channels down at the bottom. You do it through YouTube Studio, and both Wiz and Phil are on mine. They do make great music, and I was on a cult live earlier today, with Mariah's live, with Jamie and eventually Kenny, and we were talking about channels in general, and having a channel, and you know how to sort of get attention, blah blah blah. And I do want to do a video on it, but the behind the scenes help, which is what I mean about messages and stuff, but you don't realize how much time is spent per day going through messages and, you know, Instagram, Facebook, email, etc., but messages especially. And both Wiz and Phil, especially with the music, but with other stuff as well. I mean, Phil with the marketing. I know I'll probably hit Wiz up when I do eventually get OBS lined up. And if there's anything I know they're doing, and this happens all over, you know, you just go and say, well, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I do this? And people help. It's like, and I'll help people if they don't know, if they're new to something. So, yeah, guys, check that. Especially if you've just subbed. If you sub to a channel, you do get unsubbed sometimes by YouTube. So check your subs occasionally. How are you feeling generally so from your health battles? It's slow progress for me, whinge, and I'm not a good patient. Although today I walked into town without sitting down. There's 2 seats on the way into town because I have to walk up 2 hills, and I have to sit down. I mean, I stop every 10-20 yards anyway. But and I walked into town without sitting down today. I was so proud of myself. So I think this new, mind you, before Caroline says anything, yes, I am actually remembered to take my inhaler every time now. But yeah, so baby steps. But it was so good to get all the way into town without having to have a seat. So. Is that Phil? Phil 6. Actually, he's gained 1 or 2. It's 4, 6, 7. That's good. Yeah, you've got to start slow. Oh, Cree, I haven't seen you for a while either. Seriously, I'm really all right now. I want to step and say hello. Trying to. Oh no! I hope you're getting medical attention for that, darling. Oh, hearts in the chat for Cree. That's pneumonia's really, and I'm pissing and moaning about my health issues. And I've got treatment for mine. Please take care of yourself. Hang on. You always nervous about those first uploads. I'll still get nervous about uploads, but you're always nervous about the first ones. You just got to find your feet. Take your time to find your feet. Hearts for Cree, definitely hearts for Cree. Working through it, the older we are, the harder it seems to be. I'll do it. Go sleeping a lot. I'm sleeping all the time at the minute. I do think it's way more than usual, about twice as many hours as normal. It's your body's way of coping with it. And yes, getting older, when you get this sort of stuff when you're older, you know, I mean, I'm 58, and there's times when especially when I'm walking up into town, that I feel like I'm 90. It's not fair. Don't like it. But it's up to me. The warmer season helps, I'm sure. It knackers me with the pollen. The warmer weather does, because I was having to taxi to get into town in the cold weather because breathing. Yeah, I've actually, Caroline, I've actually got a little system in place because there's one inhaler I've got to take twice a day, and I wasn't always remembering both times. So, sure, that's why I'm actually managed to get all the way into town today without sitting down. Right, so Catherine, hello. How is you? I actually bought some new shoes called Hockey Barefoot. They actually fit and help my leg and knee. That's what I need actually. Not just need decent shoes because mine are falling apart. I really don't think it's helping walking. So awesome. Hearts in the chat. Shadow Mice. How are you, sweetie? Trouble. How are you, sweetie? Hey, Jamie. I enjoyed that live earlier. It was a good live. So if you are a channel, I mean, I'm going to be team rewatch to Laura's live anyway. Laura, I'll get everybody's name mixed up. Mariah's live anyway, but yeah, it was interesting in terms of how to. We were talking about techniques for sort of getting your channel noticed. Like I say, I will do a video on that. I've been planning that for a while. But also, interesting discussions with Kenny as well when Kenny joined later. So, Team Brittany. AI and monetization is definitely cheaper than AI than the other options. Yeah. You've just got to be careful about getting monetization with AI. It's the only problem. Calamity, hello, lurking and listening while I try and get some sleep. What? It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. Lightweight. Oh no. This has hit my American audience. An Aussie audience. That's why I do a late night one. Forgotten about how caring this group is. No wonder I missed you all. Yeah. A little family. And no judges in here. Hey, not me. Kel, I'm pleased you're here. Kel, I didn't notice the Buy Me Coffee when I was live on Tuesday. I have seen it now. I have sent a little message through Buy Me Coffee, but thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Getting ready to drive home from my mum and listening. You listen away, sweetie. Either Jamie's fallen on his keyboard, Catherine, or that's him swearing. Holding Jamie long bad day. Cottonwood trees are bad here. Looks like snow on the ground and flying through the air. Yeah, that's really gonna affect things. I mean, because I haven't got a car at the minute, I haven't seen them, but we have. I never dare say the word on here. RAPE seed fields all the way around the town, and they will be going into flower now, and we're getting strong winds. So yeah, I think that's why I have the vertigo attack, because just carries it into your bloody nostrils. It was a good live. It was awesome. Cherry blossoms are a nightmare all over the ground. Actually, there's a attached to the castle, there's it because it was the Duchess that did it up. It's a charity thing. There's a thing called the Annick Garden, which is lovely. It's expensive, but it's lovely, and they have a cherry blossom orchard. So that'll be mixed in with it. Got you up in another month or so. I'm trying to get this thing done. He's got to do his thing. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. Dazzler. Oh, voice went. Dazzler, hello, sweetie. How are you doing? Still Team Jamie. Hey, your team's doubled. Got 2 now. Get it done, Jamie. Yeah. I'm not aiming for monetization. If it happens, it happens. But you don't earn much off YouTube anyway. It's more pennies unless you're. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, basically, I mean, I do all right off monetization because of the live streams, and I'm appreciative for every single penny. What I actually use mine for, and to be honest, any channel that wants to grow, when it nothing to do with about it being the money. But my advice to any channel, if you want to keep going and improve and you know, is you plow the money back at the money you get from monetization back into the channel. I mean, my monetization plays because I pay for subscriptions for Adobe, for StreamYard. I pay for Suno, and there's a few things I pay for, and it's you know, at the moment my monetization sort of pays for keeping the channel going the way it should be. And if I get extra in, there's extra that's gone into a little travel fund for when I come to America that a couple of people, I think it was Sky and Mike, donated to. So I've kept that separate. And there is new equipment I need, and I've just put it into a little savings fund. So you know, the trick really, if you can do it, is your YouTube money, especially when you're starting out. Plow it back into the channel if you want to, if you're serious about your channel. But I will say, by the way, in terms of, I mean, they monetize you for memberships first. In this community, it's the memberships that get the money. Ad revenue, you have to go longer. I think I had to hit 1K to get the ad revenue. But ad revenue, you have to be getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views to get any decent kind of money from ad revenue. It's pennies. It really is pennies. Not voting. Don't piss on you. It's like you at the hospital. Look, again. Oh no, can't you, Mama? You need to take care of yourself. Am I not? And you not what, sweetie? You not what? Am I missing something? I heard that insomnia has hit me hard, so focusing on family the last couple of days since being cleared. Little one has worn you out today. Oh, so pleased that you got cleared, though. That's a weight off the mind. Sorry, crow in the chat. It might be heresy, but I love mowing blossoms on the grass. Yeah, actually, do you know the irony is, I love the smell of grass, freshly cut grass. Especially when, and I remember I was walking past. There's an old church at the top of my road, and they were mowing the lawn, and I could hear the lawnmower, and I was aware that the last thing I should have done was actually just sort of walk past it, sort of sniffing in the scent of the newly mown grass, and I'm thinking, what are you doing, Sarah? You're just making it 10 times worse. But I love that smell. Love it. Yes, we mentioned it in Mariah's live, but yeah, Dandolf really needs some hearts in the chat. So let's give it up for Mr. Gray. I really feel for him at the moment. So, you know, and it doesn't look as though it's going to be any it's going to be ongoing, I think. So hearts in the chat for Dan. Thank you, Shadow Mice. You are a treasure as always. Thank you so much. Can't find. There we go.
Oh my god!
I got to get my buttons sorted out. There's a load on here I don't even use. I'm home and it was my thank you. Yeah, thank you. I feel bad if I miss one. It's like, you know, sort of with the PayPal or stuff like that I don't always notice. So thank you for that. I'm pleased you came in the chat. I want to say thank you. I seriously cannot type tonight. I'm feeling for Mr. Because yeah. I make more money stripping than off ad revenue, and I got a whole $1. Oh, so many things I can say to that. I mean, I know that. I mean, I've heard both Mythos and Seg talk about it on the channels. I remember Mythos did a video. I think it was members only video, but Mythos did a video about, you know, there was a point last year where he didn't know if he could keep it going, keep the channel going. Well, not full time. And he was saying, you know, because he was climbing up to 30,000 subs at the time, but he was, and you know, getting a few thousand views on his videos. And he said, you know, because he's going out investigating, he says, you know, it doesn't even cover the cost. Ad revenue is pennies. But there are other ways to make the money. Raven, you will always be a favourite. Absolutely. Jamie, a stripper now. Got the moves. It's got the moves. It's my side hustle. Don't give him the day job. And there's Patreon. I have a Patreon, which I am ramping up at the moment. But here's the thing. YouTube's free for people to watch. So I have a slight dilemma with putting stuff behind a paywall. So what I actually I do members lives on YouTube, and I put the occasional video out, or I'll put it out early for members. On the Patreon though, I mean I don't charge much for the Patreon. I only have one tier, but I do let people know early. I've started doing the occasional vlog. I don't put anything out that's being hidden from, that needs to be on Fantastic Publishing, if that makes sense. It's a little bit different on my Patreon. I'm actually going to steal Dawson's idea, because I saw Dawson do a video on his last premiere, or the premiere before. I saw him do a video on what was on his Patreon. I think that's probably what I need to do to give people an idea of what's there. But the other thing with Patreon, guys, whoever you're on, because I've had a Patreon account for a long time, because I use it for my reaction channels, and what I do is I only pay for the month that there's something going on that I'm going to be that I need the Patreon for. They're not ongoing payments. You don't have to pay month in, month out. So what I will do with my Patreon, you can be a free member on mine. You'll get the basics. But what I'll do, if there's something major coming up, I'll say, look, this is going to be in the members section. So if people just want to pay a one-off payment and pay for a month, that's the better way to do Patreon, because yeah, you don't want to be I hate it anyway, asking people for money. I'm crap at it. So yeah, that's the best way to go. Sandra, hello, how are you doing? Ganjimo, in your own time, sweetie. I just want you to get better. Just want you to be healthy. I'm so relieved. 3 operations to repair a double hernia, which caused tearing of my abs, and numerous infections. Abs are still swollen, but over the moon to be cleared. Onward and upwards. Yeah, exactly. You can you can get on with things if you've once things are out the way. Um, it's I mean, I felt like that just being diagnosed and getting the help. I mean, all right, I've got a permanent condition, but it's like, right, it's up to me now. I think I'm a bit of a control freak. Once it's back in my hands, it's up to me. I can remember when you were a baby channel. Look how you go. I know, and um, I'm trying to think. What were we in June? So about a year and a half, about 18 months of it being a paranormal channel since the first shout out from Crow, and it's been a rocky ride at times. Kind of shown that I'm serious about it because the whole Danny Moss thing, and then demonetization and all that crap, and then me being poorly. But honestly, and YouTubers say this, and I love the channel. I love what I do. I love being able to put my artistic and creative side to it, and all that, and the content. But this is also be about being part of the community. But sometimes it can get really stressful behind the scenes. Every channel creator will tell you that. Content creator will tell you that. But this is where I actually love the lives, because it's sometimes like a little bubble where all the chaos, all the drama and all the toxicity sort of disappears when you get on and do a live, and you think, no, this is fine. We've got a family. Pam, hello. How are we doing? And I will also say, actually, going back to what Kiwi said, look how you've grown. I am now feeling as though I've got an identity as a channel. It's taken me 18 months to get to the point where I think, right, I know what fantastic publishing is, and the branding and everything. So, yeah, that's my Patreon. You can join as a free member, guys. If you don't want to pay, you'll get basics on the free. You at least know what's going on. And I only charge one tier. It's $5 a month. I'll make sure I actually keep updating the free ones so people know what's inside. Jonathan, hello. How is everybody? How is Ned? Is he behaving? I hope not. I'm thinking of quitting setting up lives. I'm not when it's big enough. Louise, I didn't go live. When did I go? I'll tell you when I went live. I went live when I hit 500 subs. And the reason I started going live was to get your monetization, you need 500 subs. And I think it's 1,000 hours. And I needed my hours. And it's a lot of people do this. A lot of people start going live to build the hours up. And I have to say, without Wiz and Phil, because the very first live I did it to test it out. And don't forget, I'm already on 500 subs at this point. And I did it to test it out. And I actually said to Wiz and Phil, I want to test out a live. Will you come on with me? Then if I'm sitting on my own, I can just chat to you two. And we had a really good live. I think it lasted about 4 hours. Good amount of people on chat. You need to set up your channel identity first, though. I see too many people saying, I need to get to 50 subs so I can go live. No. And this is a very crowded community for going live. So get yourself established first. Get your community. Goodness me. Oh, pet bills. You're an artist, though, Sarah, and you charge for your work there. Yes, I do. I've been a self-employed artist for what year were you? 2012. I went professional, set my own business up. 13 years. I am restarting Etsy, and obviously I've got a merch store. But on my Buy Me Coffee site, which is at the top of linked at the top of the chat, I am going to set up a shop with community and fantastic specific stuff on, and there'll be original stuff on there. I'm not talking about expensive, by the way, just keep it as cheap as possible. I am. Yeah, don't let the AI fool. Oh, by the way, I don't use AI for the stuff I charge for. The AI is for YouTube. Anything I sell, whether it's merch or stuff I've done, it's stuff I've done. We all had to start somewhere, but I did not start doing lives until we had people watching the videos. Yeah. And it's not about I need loads of people in my lives. It's about being comfortable with your channel. It's about people getting to know you. Once people are watching your channel and getting to know your videos and getting to know you through your videos, they like seeing the live. Don't be in a hurry for it. I know. I keep seeing bloody posts on Facebook saying, "Oh, there's only 24 Mondays left for Christmas." Shush. I love bunnies. I should be paid in bunnies. I should be paid in coffee. Sandra, thank you so much. I'm good. Hand is healing. Hopefully back to work next week. Been off for 3 months now. You guys have kept me going, stopping sanity kicking in. It's been so good to have you come into the community, Sandra, really. Came from Seg, I think, but yeah, because obviously on Crow's channel as well, because you're in Crow's Facebook, fitting right in. So you've been a wonderful addition to the family. Can we talk about how wonderful white chocolate is? We could, but I'm pretty honest. No, it's not. It's not. I'm not expecting to become monetized. I wanted to use my channel to express my opinion and fell into being a debunker. I'm happy with one view on my videos as long as it was enjoyable to. That's the way to do it. I mean, when I started, I didn't think about monetization. I'll be honest. Because when you first start, I mean, that 500 subs and 1,000 hours is a long way off, you know. And if you grow properly, by the time you get there, you're ready. But you can't. You have to have multiple thousands to even start thinking about being a full-time YouTuber. I mean, I'm lucky because I'm self-employed, so I work from home. And also, when I fell ill last January, 18 months ago, it was actually easy for me to sort of get the YouTube channel set up because I was home anyway. I haven't been well for 18 months. It was a good way for me to do it. But how people do it, I mean, Jamie, a lot of people work, you know, so got full-time jobs. You suddenly realize how much those stories that YouTubers will tell you, especially once they have gone full-time, how they remember starting out and, you know, they'd work all day and they'd go home and they'd just sort of spend half the night making videos and putting videos on their channel. I mean, you can see what they meant. So yeah, don't be in a hurry. Do it properly. Not made any plans myself, and I'll be 50. I wish I was 50 in 5 years. Your first life, you're so nervous. Is that me or Louise? I was, but I had backup because I had Phil and Wiz with me. So, 500 subs and 3k hours for members and super chats, and then 1k subs. That's changed. They want 3,000. Was it 3,000? Oh no, it was $3,000. You're right. It wasn't $1,000. You're right. It was 3k hours, and then it's 4k hours for. Because I hit when I got the subs, I then did the lives to get the hours. It was the other way around when I hit 1K. I already had the hours. I was waiting to hit that 1K. No, I mind you, most of my videos aren't monetized anyway, so it don't really make a difference. 2 surgeries and a lot of injections in my hand. Another one on Monday. Oh, injections in the hand. Coming to the end of the painful journey. Oh. Injections in the hand are never good. When I was taken into hospital before Christmas, trying to think why they did it. I had a little injection in my wrist. It was when they were testing me, unless it was a tester, because they were testing my. I had really low blood oxygen, and this little sting, putting this little needle in my wrist. Oh my God! Nearly hit the roof. Nearly hit the roof. I'm doing my new channel for fun and educational reasons. Fun is the first priority. John Stoop, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? No, I haven't missed something. Good to see you. Hang on. Crow the chat. Moist. Thank you, Raven. I love this live because it's personable, not so huge that we all get lost. Yeah, I must admit I'm like that in lives. I'll be honest, I don't tend to stay. Sometimes I'll lurk in, Beardos or Segs live, but I can't keep going in the chat. I can't keep up with it. And I have been told, I think it was Crow that said, if you sort of get bigger and you start getting larger chats, he says usually around the 70, 80 mark, he says you're going to find you've got different lives, and because you can't keep up with everybody. So I don't tend to worry. I find that anywhere between 20 and 40, and I'm fine. You keep up with everybody. I super chatted Side Eye Guy for that, and said I threatened to unsub. He hates dark chocolate, mint chocolate, and orange chocolate. My 3 favourite chocolates, by the way. Yeah. Aussies, you can have him. It's a disgrace to the UK. And likes white chocolate. What can you say? Go and lurk it. You take care of yourself. You take care of yourself. I hate dark chocolate. I get people not liking dark chocolate, to be honest, but I do love dark chocolate. It is my favourite. You can sometimes you got to be careful of which one you buy, because if it's really dark, it can be a bit too much. Lips smacking moist. I forgive you because you like pizza. Pizza! I had pizza twice yesterday. Phil would be so proud of me. I went from 85 subs to like 250 in 3 days because of this community. Yeah, I was honoured to be noted by the community. I'll be back at work soon. Not planning on making a career out of this. I think, do you know what? Nobody should be planning on making a career out of this. Because it's like lightning in a bottle to make a career out of it. The first rule is enjoy doing it. If you ain't enjoying doing it, it's tough going. It really is. Milk chocolate is my vote, with the exception of really top-notch dark. We have a company here that do selections of little, but I think it's called Green and Blacks, and they're expensive, but they are yummy. Different flavors of dark chocolate. How would you describe your accent? Non-existent, Kiwi, actually. I moved around. People keep thinking I'm posh. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not posh at all. But I moved around since I was 19. I've moved around a lot. I've spent 6 years in London, came back up here, went down to York. I've lived in a lot of different places. So I kind of lost my accent. You wouldn't understand me if I had my accent, by the way. The closest my real accent is Mythos. He's from the same region as me. The only difference between Mythos's accent and my real one is his is a little bit harsher. Where I am in Northumberland, it's a much softer, but all the words fall into each other. So you'd find it different. And there's a lot of Norwegian words in it as well. But I moved around so much, and then on top of that, I spent 15 years lecturing and teaching, and you kind of have to enunciate clearly when you're doing that. So yeah, I've lost mine. If I'm talking to somebody local to me who has the accent, I will fall back into it, but myself, no, I've kind of lost it. So I kind of have a sort of generic English accent, really, with a lot of bloody American words thrown in now. I have started using a lot of American terminology, so I'm American friends. So good night, Calamity. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate seeing you come in. Sweet dreams, as Louise just said. Milano cookies. Ooh, double dark chocolate Milano. Oh. I'm trying not to eat too much sweet stuff at the minute. Although I did buy cookies today that have evaporated. I don't know where they've gone. Everyone no, it's Kiwi's fault. The white chocolate. Then Catherine is in here as well. Hate mint chocolate. I like mint chocolate, especially if it's dark. And orange, yes. I love chocolate orange. Terry's chocolate orange, especially if I can find the dark one. You can't always find the dark version. Terry's chocolate orange. Yum. Orange chocolate. Blah. One reason I lurk mostly, I find larger chats hard to participate in consistently, fun to pop in here and then back to lurk. Yeah. I mean, we love our lurky turkeys. No content creator should be expecting people to be in all the time. Pop in, say hello. I mean, I do it. I mean, I am at a lot of lives anyway because of the channel, keeping an eye on what's going on, seeing what people are saying. I'm not always in chat. I might pop in and say hello. Just because you don't see me anymore doesn't mean I've gone. I just might be listening or doing other things. Dark chocolate has health benefits. Yep. Terry's chocolate oranges. Yeah. The only mint chocolates I like are the ones Andy's mints you get at some restaurants here in the States. Yeah. Seg likes white chocolate. He does. No wonder he's one of my heroes with Seg Crow. Crow doesn't really like white chocolate. He just teases me with it. But Seg does. Because he's weird. He's weird. Hang on. Where's let's find him. Where is he?
Don't stop believing.
Yeah. That's the person that you're taking a recommendation for white chocolate from. Problem for me is now I have osteoarthritis. What page? Yeah, I have the same problem. I have rheumatoid. And it's one of the reasons I actually went. I mean, I've been self-employed before. I've always been happy working for myself anyway. But yeah, I was teaching. I left because of stress and anxiety, but I've also got arthritis. I'm pretty much unemployable, to be honest, because of health issues. So I do this as a hobby and I enjoy it. The editing and the investigations, the history, and just being able to travel with Miss Jamie. Yeah. If you're not enjoying it, you've got to enjoy it, because there's people with a test. And I know Jamie will. It can be stressful. It can be very stressful. But so if you're not enjoying it, you don't know why you do it. To be honest, Brittany is awesome. Brittany is awesome. Team Brittany. It's good for your liver health. Yeah, I mainly eat dark chocolate. I do when I can. In preference. Wait, Sarah, you're not American? Shut your face, you. This is the one that I'll come on and he'll talk in. Hello, governor. At least nobody's saying hot chocolate. Yeah, you do end up with a mixed accent. Plus, I have to say, I'm not going to name the areas, but there's certain areas where I've thought there's no way I'm picking up this accent. So, yeah, it's another reason why it's gone a bit generic. Mr. just as well you got a red favour. I understand fibre and other health issues put me in the same boat. Can't commit the ability to be present and braining. Yeah. Oh, braining's hard. I actually wouldn't have a problem having a little job. The only but it is the health issues. So it's just unemployable. The problem is that I'm actually intelligent and haven't much use in it. Another reason why YouTube channel helps. Because I mean, my content will sort of increase now in terms of me going back to doing research, because I am a researcher. So yeah, we got to keep the brain active, even if the body's sort of playing you up. Keep the brain active. Seg seemed pretty hell bent on getting those white chocolate peanut butter cups. Oh, no, I love Reese's Pieces, but white chocolate Reese's, that just sounds sickly as all hell. I'm sorry. Yucky, yucky, yucky. How dare you put white chocolate next to my peanut butter? Love peanut butter. Was Seg singing or crying in pain? I think it's the same. Hey, Laura. How are we doing? You can't sack yourself to self-employed to your only employee. I know. I can get around the boss. I always thought she was American, Jamie. A lot of my terminology is, I've started saying dude, for God's sake. And banana and banana are interchangeable now. I have to actually concentrate to say banana. Have some bananas. Hot chocolate does sound good. Haven't been planked in a while. Would you like a planking, Catherine? Hang on. Here we go. And while I'm here, Kiwi. Coming in here talking about white chocolate. About health condition. I'll is it on, if it's on email, I am going to go through the emails tomorrow anyway, because I want to start putting the first volume of Believe in Me together. So I'll thanks for asking you. Yeah. Hope you're not suffering from the pollen, etc. She said, Jamie, another one that's about to get a planking. Yeah, because I sound really American. You know, it's like you know, I'm on the live today with Jamie and Mariah, and you wouldn't have known the difference between any of our accents. Like say, don't forget, you say I do say y'all. I do. I even type y'all sometimes in chat. Turn into the dark side, dude, bro. I've not said bro. I haven't heard myself say bro, but I have said dude on more than one occasion. I loved my last job at the Humane Society. Gutted to have to give it up. Lucky for me, my roommate fosters kittens for local rescue, so I still get kittens. Oh, oh. Catherine, see what Catherine just comes in here to get planked. The way he said banana, but see, I've just said it. Reading. The way he said banana was split and shit. Yeah. Just washed your hair. We know the truth. She's American. Doesn't want to admit it. I couldn't do an American accent if I tried. That's the ironic part of it. But yeah, the slang. It's all over my speech now. It's not my everyday vernacular, but y'all is a great short form to spell typist. Yeah, abbreviation. Y'all just rolls off the tongue, honestly. Yeah, I think there's probably a little bit of laziness in it as well. But I do type it as well. My flatmate's cat sucked up to me and I caved and gave him tuna. Why would any halfway intelligent person say... I know what, I can tell you why I say dude. It's because Crow says it all the time. It's part of his just everyday speech. So I wouldn't say bro. So that's why I'm distinguishing about with it, because no, I never hear bro, but there's several of my American friends that say dude all the time. I don't say it a lot, but it has fallen out my mouth occasionally. I say dude, just always have. Yeah, you pick up on. I mean, I hear American friends pick up on some of my slang as well. So, it happens both ways. Yeah, I think you just get people that you talk to regularly, or even just watching, you just pick it up. Oh. I do say dude and y'all as well, yeah. Oh, hang on, my chat's jumping. Yeah. Love cats and dogs. I say dude a lot. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Raven. Probably the same reason I do. Dude was always the city slickers trying to ride horses at Dad's. Oh, right, okay. I'm not close enough to Canada for that. I say dude because the kids did. Actually, I probably picked up a few words when I was teaching, especially when I was teaching the 16 to 19-year-olds. I think you do. I think you hear words all the time. It becomes part of your own language. So I have to, and it's also regional because I grew up 8 miles away from where I live now. 8 miles. I grew up on the coast, and when I moved back up to Northumberland, to a town 8 miles from where I grew up, there are some words people have had to explain to me. That 8 mile difference, you know, my one of my best friends who lives in Alnwick, who has always lived in Alnwick, you know, grew up here. Sometimes she'll use words and I'll have to get to, what do you mean? I don't understand that word. And I was only 8 miles away growing up. So it's finally at the bottom. I know, well, it's only been an hour. Only been an hour. I stopped saying no when I lived in Barnsley. It became nah. I must admit, because I lived in York for a long time, and I fought against the accent and etc. Nothing against it, just I didn't want to. I wanted to keep my own accent, but not so much York actually. I had a friend that was in just outside of Hull, and I still say shan't sometimes, rather than shall not. Shan't. I'm shan't doing it, or I aren't doing it. So there's still one or two words I picked up. Hang on, sweet coffin. There we go. Hello, lovely humans. Hello to you too. How are we doing? How are you? Caroline Sachs, 8 months. I might be late Saturday night. Oh, no problem, sweetie. Not an issue. Please don't stress. You are volunteering. You're so consistent here. It's all laid back, and I can mod from the. It's a bit dangerous because I've been known to kick people out, but I can mod from the. It's always appreciated when you hear Caroline. Yeah, 8 months, and she's been the star of a moderator. That's how you moderate. You want to know how to moderate, by the way? Look at Catherine. Catherine, it's because I've just read Catherine's name. Look at Caroline. Because she doesn't spam the chat. She just chats generally and quietly deals with any problems. Bad day, but lovely Sarah helps. Oh, you're all right, Catherine. Oh, I'm not going down that route. I'm going to end up getting in trouble. I could tell you. It's between. But I have to say, I'm going to talk generally now. But what often happens in in England, actually probably I can't speak for Wales and Ireland, but in Scotland, this happens in Scotland as well a little bit, is city accents can often be a lot harsher, a lot more guttural, and they're the ones generally I have more of a problem with. It's like I'll go with my area. Is my area the main city is Newcastle, and the accent there is Geordie, and that is I don't mind Geordie, but it's very harsh on the ears. Where I am, it's a lot softer. If you want to know Geordie, if you're in the UK, sort of Ant and Dec for a start, the famous ones. When I lived in married quarters for Canadian military, I picked up lots of different words and sayings from all over Canada. Yeah. Oh, actually, just say you're going live, going to a live show. Oh, I haven't been to a gig in ages. Barely get out the house. Sarah can't get me. I know. Just think about Catherine all the time. Miss her when she's not here. A local legend, Jimmy Barnes. Awesome. My accent is thick most of the time. No. Do you get ready to rumble with Anton Deck? I actually quite like Anton Deck, to be honest. I mean, they're the reasons I'll sometimes watch I'm a Celebrity. It's not for what's going on in the jungle. It's I enjoy them just take the piss out of everybody. They're one of our better exports, you know, from outside of Newcastle, because we don't have a great amount to be proud of. Brian Johnson of AC/DC's a Geordie. He's still got his accent. But you know, Cheryl Cole, boo. I'm sure you'll have a great time. Some of the funnest shows I've seen more are local bands. Me too. Me too. When I was in London, there was a local band called Last of the Teenage Idols, and we found them by accident. We went to the Marquee for a New Year's Eve bash. 5 local bands on, and that was my introduction to them. And they were so much fun. They were one of my favourite bands to go see live, and I've seen loads of big names live. I love the Welsh accent and the Mythos accent. Yeah, Mythos is closest to mine. But he's a bit further south than me, so mine would be softer. But yeah, Mythos is pretty much my accent. Normally, we have fantastic bands here that no one's ever heard of. Yeah, that happens everywhere. You know, it's a bit like a YouTube channel. You get some great YouTube channels that have only got low subs compared to everybody else. And somebody said to me, who said to me, was it Jamie or somebody today or yesterday, was saying that something like 90% of YouTube channels don't have 1,000 subs. Sure, that was the figure. Don't know if Jamie's still around. He might be able to. It might have been Jamie that said it, but somebody said it, and that's you know, just remember that. Might even have been higher. It was certainly at least 90%. Love Beardo and Mr. Gray's accents and the Irish accent. I love the Irish accent. I do. Oh, I love an Irish accent. Yeah. That's an accent I absolutely adore. Beardo and Mr. Gray, I have family live fairly near them, because I have family in Llanelli. They moved from England there, but my cousin's kids they actually learn Welsh at school. By local, I mean Australian. He and his old band Cultures live. Yeah. Aussie legend. I mean, we have huge acts here that nobody outside of the UK knows about. Left my Irish accent deep down and it only comes out when drunk. My Northumbrian accent sometimes comes out when I'm angry, to be honest. That was me. It was Jamie, right? So only 10% hit 1,000 views. Remember that, guys. If you start the channel, 10% in YouTube. Millions and millions of channels on YouTube, and only 10% hit 1,000. So don't get hung up on the subs. Quality over quantity. Look at the subs you've got. Look after the subs you've got. Grow your community. Jamie hit 2,000 all the time. Yeah. The Scots accent. I love the Scottish accent too, but the Scottish accents do range. Now my connections are with Orkney, which is, if you're not from the UK, right at the top of their islands at the top of Scotland, and that's a very, very soft accent. I know, even though I'm used to it because of family. Sometimes I've had in the past where I've had to get used to listening to it again. My friend lives on Anglesey, but it's from Wigan originally. My Scott comes out and I'm in a goofy mood. Oh, look at me at the bottom of the chat. And I barely crowed it. Oh, yeah. Somebody once said to me, oh, yeah, I replied to every comment. I think, yeah, I'm getting many comments, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I mean, I used to try that, and it's I know I'm behind on my comments at the minute. But a little tip on the comments, by the way, which I have to do, is in YouTube Studio, you can go straight to your comments in Studio, and it'll show you all of them. You haven't got to keep going back through videos. I try and make sure I heart and like them all. But actually replying to everyone, you just can't do it. But reply to the ones that you have something specific to say back. I mean, I have to say that even on before, about I mean, I had about 6 subscribers when Crow shouted me out, and even in the early days, because I was part of the community, I was getting quite a few comments in the chat, and even back in the early days, it was difficult to keep up. But starting the channel out, when you can keep up with your comments and replying to everyone, because other people do it. I've seen, when they first started, I saw both Wiz and Phil do it. It does help. Part Irish, got English, Ukraine, and Polish. I don't even know. One day I might take one of those DNA tests just to see. I don't think mine's going to be much outside of England, to be honest, but you never know, do you? You never know. My accent is thick Glaswegian with northern twang. That part comes out more with my telephone voice. Thick Glaswegian, that's a heavy accent to listen to. I love Glasgow. I absolutely love Glasgow. I actually thought of moving there at one point. When I was still an academic, because it has a very good film media department. So I remember going to Glasgow when I was a lot younger, when I was a kid. And the regeneration in Glasgow is amazing. It's a beautiful city now. A lot to offer. My niece sounds like Princess Anne now. No idea where her Kiwi accent went after moving to London with her family. My cousin, who's in Wales now, she lived in New Zealand from being about 8 to 18, and she came home with a New Zealand accent. She lived in Auckland, but you talk to her now in South Wales, and her partner's Welsh. She's pretty much Welsh now. She seems to be a chameleon of accents wherever she is. The Glaswegian part comes out more when I'm pure rage. Yeah, as I was just saying about mine. My accent does come out if I'm angry. Still small. Just heart and like. And like I say, if you go into YouTube Studio, if you're behind, like I am was behind, you'll be fine. See the Scots accent that says dinner can. That's the twang part in me. Sega's a perfect person to use as an example of what not to do in a live. Yeah, in a live, you don't say you like white chocolate. We talk about Sega in the chat. I'm not quite that bad. Mostly. I pick up accents easily. If I relocated somewhere, because I have spent my life fighting it, not having an accent where I've been living, when I've been living in different places. But if I moved somewhere where I didn't mind picking up the accent, I would pick up the accent. Especially if it was radically different to me. For example, I'm sure if I lived in Australia or New Zealand, or in certain parts of the States, the accent would be picked up. I wouldn't be able to help it. Sarah has to crow the chat when she segs the chat every time. Yes.
Crow in the chat. I love it.
Although Crow's now calling it Sarah in the chat. I'm Sarah in the chat. Okay. My first boyfriend was a Kiwi and people constantly thought I was a Kiwi. It's a slight difference. I can just pick up the difference between the two. What's with that, Sarah? Ground crow. Yeah, you try that. You try that. Ding, ding, ding. See, I get ding, ding, dings. And then I go down the chat in sequence, by the way. I don't go backwards. He goes backwards sometimes. That's why he doesn't get to the bottom. I speak dialect English. I can pick up on an accent within hours or less. Hey, Leanne. Yeah, I can't. It's always going to be Crow in the chat. Thank you, Raven. You tell him that next time he says it in a live. Sarah, ask them to say fish and chips and you'll be able to tell. Heading out, Sarah. Thank you for being here, John. You have a good time. Interesting that Seg in the chat or Crow in the chat entered our vocabulary. Yes. Do you know, guys, there's a lot that's entered the vocabulary of the community on this channel. Not just saying from me, a lot of it's been from Phil. And do we get any credit? No. Crow in the chat, Seg in the chat, Joe in the chat, Jeff in the chat. All sorts of things that people have used now. I'm trying to think of other examples. If Phil was here, he'd tell you loads of examples. But he's not. Lurky turkey is another one I've heard say. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how a little channel, the lingo goes across the community. I have to give it time, Louise. Give it time. Me and Pam will get you all to say all the time. I'll say or a. I mean, I won't be able to do it yet, but in the next few months, I really need a new computer setup, and I'm probably going to get a dual monitor, because if this chat gets bigger, I'm going to have to do. That's how Beardo keeps up. He has it on a separate screen. I'm going to have to put his chat on a separate screen. You don't get many. How many is it? 3, 6. You only get 7 bits of the chat on StreamYard. You can't see a lot of it. I say at the end of things sometimes. I was doing it at the market the other day. Yeah, that's me. Doing it at the market the other day. I'm gonna do the market. Um, okay. Yeah, we all have our demons. Our gremlins. Oh, hop. Do you have StreamYard? Do you have to have... No, you don't have to have StreamYard to live stream. You can do it through YouTube, but I've never done that. I use StreamYard. StreamYard, I mean, people moan about the price of StreamYard, and yes, it is. It has suddenly got expensive, but it's the cleanest one to use. And if you're somebody who, which I do sometimes, I mean, on Tuesday, Jamie was on with me. You know, sometimes, you know, sort of Phil Wiz and Crow, people are on with me. I want to be able to do something where you can have a panel. If you want to, and I like the aesthetics of, yes, the artist in me. I like the aesthetics of StreamYard, but you can get a free version of StreamYard, by the way. You can also get a free version of Restream, but you can go live through YouTube. Yes, my bestie introduced me to Cockwomble. I use it quite a bit now. She started saying that. I didn't care what it was saying doing the market though. Yeah. A little bit of Geordie in that. I'll mind you where I am. I'm only 20 miles from the border. Yeah, it is. If I at some point I'll actually put up a bit of text that is Geordie written down, a Northumbrian written down, and it does look like a completely different language. Because part of it is, like I say, there's a lot of Norwegian words in it. Oh, sweetie, you rest up if you're getting a headache again, darling. Please take care of yourself. Life is good when you're going through the car wash listening to Sarah. I hate going through car washes. Of course, I'd just like to have a car at the minute. I hate going through car washes. I'm always paranoid that, you know, I know that they have sensors, but I always think, oh, is it going to be too tight? I used to, when I was living in London, when I was a lot younger, I was a nanny for 6 years, from 19 to being 25. That's why I lived in London, and one of my charges used to call the car wash the Green Monster. Oh no, it's the Green Monster, because it was the green. I still call it the Green Monster sometimes. Crying that, yeah, rest up, yeah, take care, Raven. Look after the self. That's me living in Yorkshire. I have picked up the odd word. You were a nanny? Yeah, I was. What happened was, I left school at 18 and went straight to college and didn't like it. So I ended up dropping out at 19 and I just fell into nannying. I'll be honest, I didn't particularly enjoy it, but you know, it also got me down to London, so it got me away from the area. And as I was saying in Mariah's live, I'm a massive rocker. I still am. Love me rock music and love going to live gigs. And where I grew up, which is where I am now, it was a major operation back then to get to a gig in the city. And suddenly I'm in London and I'm going to 4 or 5 a week, you know, from very small gigs to, you know, major ones, because I also work for somebody in the music industry. Got me free tickets. So I mean, you get paid pennies, or you did then. You got paid pennies for being a nanny, but you're living free because you're living in. So you're not paying food, or which in London's really expensive. You're not paying food or rent or anything. And you're right there. And because I think we were having this conversation, and I think it was in Mariah's live, we were having this conversation about people saying, oh, it might have been my last one. It was one of them. Don't like London, you know, I wouldn't be there for sort of more than 5 minutes. And I'm probably like that now, but I wouldn't give up my time in London for the world. As a youngster, early 20s, I took full advantage of it. I loved going to the theatre as well. I loved my musicals and things like that. I can't wash my car at the moment because of my hand. I always go through the car wash anyway. Because, especially if it's, especially during the winter, because all the grit that they sometimes put on the roads here, if they feel like it, gets underneath the car, so it's better to go through the car wash. The Rockin' Nanny, yeah. One of the jobs I did, which is where I was working for somebody in the music industry, my nickname was Rock and Roll Sarah. Yeah. Listen, carers. I'm already a carer. So I got woken up an hour and a half before I was due to go live. Guess the nanny paid so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was pennies. Because the argument was, you're not paying. You're living in for free. But it was enough to, what I needed, keep me going. Because your money's basically yours. You're not having to pay for anything, so your money's basically yours. Rock and Roll Sarah, very cool. Yeah, Rock and Roll Sarah. Because I still do it really, but yeah, I was always in denim and leather and long hair. How has your village changed over the years? The town I grew up in, enormously. I mean, in the 70s when I was a kid, it was a very run-down little fishing port, very rough. It was a very rough little town. Not a lot of amenities there, hardly anything there. And over the years, it started to get regenerated. When I came back to the area, the town centre, it's a lot bigger now because a lot of housing's been built. But this is a major tourist attraction now. Millions upon millions have been put into it. So it is completely different now in the centre. The old Amble's still there. It's called Amble. The old Amble's still there. But yeah, it's amazing. See, Sarah, pay attention once in a while. Oh, I'm very proud of you. Someone's saying the Kiss car wash has disco lights flashing. Hang on. Let's give you a bit of music.
Don't stop believing.
I need to get Crow's La Bamba on. I'll upload Ravens. Clap. I could do a walk about on our town, got city status, then everything started to close down. Yeah. Problem is sometimes once things grow, it's happening here actually, the town I'm in now. It must have been a bit longer because I think it was during the pandemic. There's just right on the edge of town next to the dual carriageway, there's a retail park which is getting bigger and bigger. That takes things outside the town centre. Oh my god, my ears. What? He's got a lovely singing voice. Like a choir boy. I grew up on a caravan site in a village outside Perth. Yours sounds like luxury to me. Yeah, I mean Perth for years. But yeah, it was just a rough. I mean, it was a very poor town, a rough little town. But I'm not complaining because, I mean, yeah, I was a kid in the 70s and early 80s, and it was the era of as long as you got home before the street lights came on. And you know, a mile down the road was a very posh village called Warkworth, which has a castle, and you could go in the castle for free at that point. So you've got a castle, you got the countryside, you got the beaches, you know, amazing. Just as people are staring now. Who are you listening to? Is singing punishment for mentioning white chocolate? It certainly is. It certainly is. It's good to know that you see that as punishment. I will bear that in mind for the future. It wasn't for my family being here, I'd have left a long time ago. Actually, saying moving down to London when I was 19, I was desperate to get away. And I remember being on the bus going down for the first time when I got my first job, and it felt like freedom. It just felt like I was getting away and I was escaping, and that's why I love London so much, and I could go to all the gigs. I never thought I'd come back to... I always knew I wanted to be back in the northeast, but I never thought I'd come back to near where I grew up in a million years. And then I'd done a visit just to come up here and do photography, stayed here in Alnwick, so I could go out and sort of go into the countryside, etc. And I just had the most bizarre moment where I thought, I just want to come home, I just want to be here. And I can't imagine being anywhere else now. We had to use an outside toilet and shower block, pumped out water out to the outside tap, picked berries in the summer. We had an outside toilet growing up. When we had an inside toilet as well, we had an outside dunny. Pumped out water at the outside tap, picked berries in the summer. I wish I knew where there were blackberries around here, because every year I keep needing to go blackberry picking again and never do. Moved to Glasgow. The culture was shocked, by the way. What's this? Central heating wild. Yeah. So not so much indoors, you know, sort of house stuff, but I know when I moved down to London, it's really weird what you see as unusual. But I remember being like, this was my second job down in London. Second or third job, moving to Islington, and there was like a 7. It's like, what, shops are open till 11 o'clock at night? This is amazing. Petrol stations are open all night. Yeah, it's a different world. Maybe I should turn my volume down a tad. No, share the love with everybody. Don't you start. Justin says that sort of shit. You pulled that on me today in Mariah's, you know. I was talking about going to gigs. Yeah. Oh, so seeing Glenn Miller. No, Sandra, turn it up. We'll get Sarah to play it louder. Mariah, hello, sweetie. How are you? Thank you for the live earlier. I really enjoyed that. Or put coal on the fire to wait for the water to heat up to do dishes. I did grow up with coal fires, and I miss them to this day. I miss having a coal fire. Blackberries are invasive. Oh, no, I love blackberries. We used to go blackberry picking every year when I was a kid, and you used to come back with bucketfuls, and you go to the bloody supermarket and they charge you like £2 for 8. But no, I'm not paying that for blackberries. Rhubarb's the same. I would go back in a heartbeat now. It's too modern up here now. It's not the same. Yeah. I came home. Full term, says my internet baby. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good life, sweetie. Um, oh yes, it's Final Destination and Sinners. No, Mariah and Zach are at the drive-in. What's the new Final Destination? Which Joe Vitale said was okay. So, and he didn't use the word lame, so it must be good. Rhubarb is taking over my yard. I'm taking over mine. Really wish it was taking over mine. I love rhubarb. It's a pleasure to have everyone on. It's a pleasure to be there. I even managed to get a word in edgeways with Kenny. That never happens. The new Final Destination is really good. I liked it. Good. It's got it's generally favourable from people who've seen it that it's a good movie. I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, there'll be no Tony Todd, but there you go. It wasn't bad. I know. I thought it must have been the shirt because he was power dressed because he'd been in a major meeting. Must have been what made him behave a bit better. Maybe he was still in a better behaviour mode. And Jamie didn't get into trouble today because he got into trouble yesterday because on my live he was wearing his Dawson Toller t-shirt. That was commented on. We are debunking the curse myth just for funsies. I still think that's awfully quick for the curse myth to blow up. That has to be marketing. Oh no, I haven't. But if Chucky doesn't win, I'm going to be very cross. Facts. He's lurking. He's in air quotes editing. Don't know which takeout menu is editing, but he's editing. No, I actually believe Jamie is editing. I actually believe him. They've got a talking in it. Yeah, he's lurking, Catherine. He's working. He's editing. They've got a talking. Has Annabelle ever talked in anything before? Mind you, let's just change my background picture and remind everybody where Annabelle really is. Where is she? There you go. So there's mystery of what's happened to Annabelle. She's serving me coffee. Just saying. Zach said marketing too. Yeah, it's Blair Witch, isn't it? Annabelle doesn't do anything, so Chucky would win easy. Oh yeah, Chucky's the man. I like Chucky. That's not too bad. This is my Arty Farty channel. I found my glass engravers, so there's going to be some glass engraving and faux leather painting on there soon. Ooh, 7 months strong. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mariah. I'll probably still watch it, but I don't hold any great expectations after Steel. I quite like the trailer, to be honest. Oh, hang on. We're talking about Chucky and Annabelle. Oh, I'll watch it. What I might end up doing, because I follow a couple of horror reaction channels, and sometimes if I haven't got the energy all the time to watch something properly, that I'm not bothered about watching properly, I'll just wait until they react to it. And if they start reacting to it and I think, no, I want to watch this properly, I'll watch it properly. Blair Witch was a good one. I got to do a video on that. That caused a stir. I used to teach Blair Witch. I don't know why, because it terrifies the life out of me, but I did used to teach Blair Witch. And it is... Blair Witch has a lot to answer for in terms of the way the paranormal is investigated. I've covered that in a video as well. The point of view, handheld camera, you know, the oh my gosh. And I'll tell you who else got heavily influenced by it was Most Haunted, where the camera's always on the face and their reactions rather than the camera going around the room to show you what's going on. And Omar does it as well. Hey Mark, the sarcastic law student, how we doing? Annabelle is going to Maine with Ryan Buell and poor Annabelle needs to... Yeah, you're not kidding. Do you know, I was so disappointed in that because in the early 2000s, I was full-time lecturing and I rarely got to see much TV. So I kind of never realised, I didn't know anything about ghost hunters or anything like that. I think I caught a couple of the internationals. But I did used to watch Paranormal State and I quite enjoyed Paranormal State in my innocent days. And I was sort of extra annoyed. I mean, I knew there were rumours about, you know, he wasn't particularly good to work with. But yeah, not a good. You see, I've got Annabelle. Yeah, she's buying me. It's alright. He's got the fake one. I've got the real one. Oh, caramel. I want a gingerbread one. It was. I mean, I don't specifically rate it as a movie, if I'm honest. I don't think it's one of the best horror movies, but genius. I mean, I can't remember the exact figures, but at the time, I don't know if it's still the case, but at the time it came out, it was the highest grossing movie of all time, as in, you know, because it only cost something like $30,000 to make. I think they basically pooled their credit cards to make it. And then, of course, it made gazillions at the box office. So compared to what it cost to make to what it made, it was the highest of all time at the time. It might still be. And I remember the marketing for it. And horror, as Western horror, doesn't always happen with Eastern horror, but Western horror relies on the point of view shot. And that's basically what it is. But what I learned about, and I've said this before, but what I learned about Blair Witch, the reason it terrified me is it taught me how important audio is for movies, for horror, because the bits I absolutely cannot cope with are the bits where the screen goes black. And it's just noise, it's just sound. Oh no, I can't deal with it. Most Haunted and Really Haunted need to collab, call it Not Really Haunted. Not Really Haunted. Gingerbread, yummy. Case study in cinema. Yeah, I've got a video somewhere on the channel. It might be in private at the minute because of demonetization, but I have covered that. It's basically what I used to teach. I used to teach horror movies. I think I had a chocolate brownie coffee frappe the other day. That went down well. Ooh. No, it's frappe, the cold one. I saw Blair Witch with no knowledge I was getting into. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think when it came out. I was already a film student at that point, so I kind of got the technical side of it. but I still wasn't prepared for how something where, in theory, you're not seeing a whole lot happening, but how much it unnerves you with the little bit. And it shows that you don't have to have full-on effects for horror if you're using the psychology of it properly. And there's so much in the psychology of it, which is something else I'm covering with soon. And I covered in that video is the techniques, film techniques that are used. They don't have to. I'll put it back on the channel. I'll probably get away with if it's not on there. I think I need to clip a bit out. Actually, I think that's the only thing that's wrong with it. Because when I was applying for remonetization, I took a lot of stuff down that I thought, well, let's make sure I get remonetized. I think that one will be all right. But yeah, the sort of techniques that you used, the more subtle the technique, the more it can be scary, because it can be a slow burn. You see, for me, the ending was creepy, but it wasn't the ending that really freaked me out. The bit that really freaked me out was when they're in the forest. Obviously, it was the bit at night, and when they're in the tents and the sound of the kids outside, and I think you see the shadows as well. 1999, yeah. So I'd have been doing my master's degree by then. On teaching. Right. I'm not trying to, flex here. But if you want any help or advice, or if you want to collab, I'm happy to do that, darling. So, because I think it's a good idea, and you know how we were talking in your live about possible techniques, etc. There's a lot of those techniques. The fakers, for example, use all the obvious horror techniques, the jump scares, all that sort of stuff. But there's a lot more subtle techniques that could be used in an investigation where at the end of the day nothing's happening, which can still maintain a pace of suspense and keeping the viewer interested, even though there's nothing happening. It's the way it's filmed, it's the way the camera's held. I personally have no problem, for example, with music and sound effects to keep it going. I just really loved that you actually said, but if we did hear something, I'd take everything else off, so all you're hearing is it's called there's two types of sound in movies. One's called, sorry, I'm getting into lecture mode, but one's called diegetic sound and one's called non-diegetic sound. If you're watching a movie and what you're hearing is what the characters would be hearing, that's diegetic. If it's voiceovers and music and soundtrack, that's non-diegetic. So yeah, and sometimes in these places, it depends where you are, but I don't know. I think we've all been in places where even our own footsteps, you almost want to wish that you'd put softer shoes. It's a bit like at night. I don't know whether it's females that get this more, especially because if we're wearing heels, etc. But you're walking on your own at night, and the streets are deserted, and the clicking of your heels, and you just think, oh my god, I just want my footsteps to be quieter. So yeah, there's all sorts of techniques that can actually be brought into investigations that aren't dude, bro, demon, So I sometimes think if it's been built up properly and you can see the jump scare coming, but you don't know when it's going to come, that can actually be scarier than a sudden jump scare you're not expecting. I tell you what's a masterful piece on that is Signs by M. Night Shyamalan, whatever he's called. And there's a bit where Joaquin Phoenix is looking at the news, and they've caught this video, sort of bad video footage that somebody's captured in their in the home of an alien growing up, and you wait for so long, they leave it that bit just too long before they actually show it. So yeah, the creep factor on Blair Witch, it was a major lesson even for me who was used to studying it by then. Because me being me, I mean, when I used to teach horror, I used to go into the psychology of it as well. How fear works, persistence of vision, and all that sort of thing. I think I mentioned it in the video. Yeah, I don't think I could watch it. I don't know. I'm not going to test it. There's another film that frightened the life out of me years ago, and I've got it on my watch list for on Prime. And it was George C. It's an old 70s movie with George C. Scott called The Changeling, and it terrified me. And I've got it on my watch list because I keep thinking, well, I wonder if it'd still frighten me now. I still haven't had the guts to watch it again. No, they didn't. But what I'm actually thinking of doing is reworking it. I'll probably put myself on camera for a start. They'd like that, by the way. They like you actually being on camera. And I know there was one bit in that was copyrighted, so I clipped that out. It was a bit of The Shining. No, I could do it now. It wouldn't take much doing. Just re-upload it, or I might just put it on. What I might do is put it on Fantastic Folio, which is my storage channel. It's where I put the songs and stuff. And I'll put a link to it in the if I decide to do it that way, I'll put a link to it in the community post, and people can go over and watch it. Subtlism, yeah. They're because I mean, I've fallen out with more than one person about Alien and Aliens. I love the Aliens movie. I do love it, but it's an action movie. Alien is a horror movie, and the problem with Aliens, and the reason I'm using Aliens as an example, is you end up getting so desensitized to it because there's so many of the buggers. It's a lot creepier just having one that only pops up occasionally. And I would say that generally with horror. A lot of scammers use music as a way to influence people's decisions to give their money to. Yeah. Oh, it's a psychology in itself. Doing fake videos. Yeah, I can't remember who it was in your chat. Oh, Mark's Random Curiosities. You know, this idea of just what it's like to be there, even if nothing's happening. Some places are really creepy. That last was it the last investigation or the one before that Jamie did? The one where he fell over. That one. All right. Sorry, Jamie. It's the only way I can describe it. But that's also what I loved, that they'd walked around with the lights on and showing everything. And there was stuff in that house that was really creepy. I'm sure that some of them were the old type Victorian pictures of the dead photos. But the place itself just had a vibe to it. You could tell just by looking on it, you know? So it got to me. I really like Signs. I love Signs. I think it's one of his better ones. Give me a good psychological scare over gore any day. Yeah, I don't know if it's still the case, but there is a theory that women prefer the psychological scares over the gore. Night, Catherine. Thanks for being here, sweetie. Good to see you. Lots of love. Oh, paranormal. So I was trying to work out what PFI. Yeah. What's the other one that does that? Oh crap. Oh, there's a movie with a red demon face, and I'm trying to remember. Is it Insidious? Could be wrong about what movie it is. The Mist. Oh, I hate that ending. I hate that ending. The Changing is probably the most effective atmospheric movie for haunted. Yeah. I do want to watch it again, but I might have to do it in a little bit by bit. By the time I get around to watching it, Prime will probably decide to charge for it. So I've got it on my watch list though. I haven't seen that, Louise. Good night. Hope you don't step on a Lego on the way to bed. Hear that, Catherine? Don't step on any Legos. Enjoy. Right, let us know what it's like. I love a good ghost movie. I love that's what I actually like the best is the Uncanny. It's why the art channel's called Uncanny Academy. Yes, it is. I've got it right. It was Insidious, and it's often in Insidious. It's actually done quite subtly, and you're not expecting it Insidious. I've not seen Passion of the Christ, to be honest. You did finally watch the new Alien. I really enjoyed it. For me, that end sequence across the sort of, the landscape is just. When I finally got my big telly hooked back up, I watched it again. I would love to have seen that in the cinema. I'd actually, if I ever saw that come on in the cinema, I would actually go just to see it on the big screen. It was incredible. Yeah. That ending. No, I didn't like the ending to The Mist. Still effective. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm original Aliens all the way. The first Alien's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I think of the remake of what later ones, I think it's probably the best one. Because it caught the tone again. The almost steampunk aesthetic of it, because it's. I can't remember where it was in the timeline, but it's one of the earlier timeline ones. But that end sequence just like the other. Yeah, we were talking about the other day. Elaine was in the chat, and she I used to read. Before I started reading Stephen King, actually, I read James Herbert, and he has a trilogy. I'm trying to think what the first one's called. Oh, this is where I need Elaine in the chat. Ghosts of Sleep or something. I can't remember if that's the first one, but yeah, it sort of reminded me of that. It just doesn't interest me, Louise. I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I love I'll often go through the first three. If I watch the first one, I'll often sort of just watch all the first three. Sorry, hang on. I'm just going to go on mute a minute. I did do a paper on the fourth one. It was interesting from an academic point of view, but problematic. But after that, I quite like the first. I think it was the first Alien versus Predator, the one in Antarctica. But no, the original. I will watch, and I like Alien 3. By the way, I'm one of those people that like all three of the first movies. Yeah, missed ending. No, just no. That's one of those things I wish I hadn't seen. Dr. Sleep was good. The others are very well written. Well acted as well. I I don't always think Nicole Kidman gets credit for how good an actress she is, for some reason. I'm bound by oath of honour to talk crap the page shit. I thought aliens system. Yeah, some people do, and that's what I mean. I've often had arguments. It's not so much, because as a blockbuster movie, Aliens is faster paced, and it is a fantastic movie. It's just not horror. That's my argument with Aliens. Every time I think of baseball in movies, I just think if you build it, they will come. That movie, I love that movie. Always, I rarely cry in real life. I cry my eyes out at movies and TV, and that's one of them every time. And actually, especially since Dad died, it's made it even worse. I love Field of Dreams. Night Kiwi, good to have you here, darling. Good to see you again. Field of Dreams is a lovely movie. I've got 1 or 2 creepy moments in that as well, especially at the beginning when when the Ray Liotta character first appears on the baseball field. Good stuff. Time am I on? 4 o'clock. I'm going to start winding down in a minute, guys. Just trying to think. I will be live on Saturday afternoon, as normal. It's the time I did a members live, actually, so I will do that at some point. Just don't know when. I could do get another video out, actually. I want to do my comments video apart from anything else. I've lost StreamYard. Oh, there it is. So some of the lovely, lovely comments that were left underneath my Simply Strange video. This is just sense torturing. There was a. Do you know sometimes you'll watch a film or a TV show and you think, I wish I hadn't watched it, because you can't unsee it. There was a TV show on Prime called, I think it was called Them, which they marketed as horror, and it actually wasn't. There was some horror elements to it, but it wasn't horror. And it was very good, but there was a scene in that, and I thought, I wish I'd not started watching that. I just can't. I actually got quite angry that I'd seen it at all. And I remember a friend saying, is it worth me watching? I just like, don't. Just don't. Don't go there. Movie standards are weird. I know. It's there are certain things, and I'm not easily shocked. I'm really not easily shocked. But there's sometimes, fortunately, it's not very often, but sometimes you'll come across a scene where you think, why? That wasn't necessary for the story. And yeah, the end of the the end of the. I mean, I get it as a shock ending, but no. But this thing, I think it was called Them or They or something. That was a complete no. Complete. Yes, don't watch it. Yeah, it was advertised as horror, which is why I watched it. And like I said, there are horror elements in it, but not very many. It's a very good show, but there's one scene in there, and I just really regret ever watching the show for that. Yeah. It's because that end of The Mist is so heart-wrenching. It's devastating. There's no other word for it other than it's devastating. The other thing I use that as an example, anybody's seen Squid Game, I'm behind on Squid Game, so no spoilers, I've only seen the first season. But there was an episode in the first season of Squid Game that was just, non-stop, gut-wrenching. It was great, a brilliant season. I really need to catch up on Squid Game. But message saying StreamYard can now access your YouTube account. Well, I've only been live for 2 hours. Thanks, StreamYard. Solid character development is not easy these days. No. It's actually why I tend to be, for years, I've been more of televised series than movies. I mean, I love my movies, but I really like that character development and getting to know characters over time, which even with the best intentions, you can't do that in a movie. I like to be invested. I like to get to know them. Right, guys, I'm going to wind up because it's 4 o'clock in the morning here and I haven't had enough sleep. So, thank you for being here, people. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Shadow Mice for the membership, Sandra for the super chat, Caroline for the 8 months, Mike's had a YouTube baby, 9 months, and Mariah for the 7 months. And I will, if I don't see you before, if I don't do a Booyah members live, which is more likely to be, I might do. It just depends what mood I'm in, and if nobody's live, I might just think, oh, members. But otherwise, I will definitely be live my usual time on Saturday, 2 p.m. UK, 9 a.m. US East, and 11 p.m. Sydney. Okay, so toodles.
Don't need coffee.
I need coffee. I need coffee.
You don't need coffee.
I need coffee, Daddy.